Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling the Openpilot 0.9.9 release notes. These dropped June 19th, 2025. And like always, our job is to dig through the tech details and pull out what really matters for you.
That's the plan. We're aiming to uncover the core steps forward in this release and crucially explain what these advancements mean for assisted driving down the road and what it means for you, the driver.
Mhm.
We'll see a definite pattern here, more personalization, adaptability, and thinking ahead.
Absolutely. Okay, let's jump in. First up, a new driving model. And the notes mentioned something interesting. Training at 5 FPS, 5 frames per second. That seems kind of low, right? Especially when Openpilot runs at 20 FPS in the car. What's going on there?
Yeah, it does sound counterintuitive at first glance, but this move to 5 FPS training, it's actually a really strategic step, not just some minor tweak. It basically signals they're laying the groundwork for much heavier, more complex AI models later on.
Okay. Laying groundwork how?
Well, by optimizing how they use compute for training, doing it at this lower frame rate in their simulator, they make sure that these future data-hungry models can actually be trained efficiently. Think of it like future-proofing their whole AI development pipeline. It sets the stage for bigger capabilities, even if this specific model right now doesn't feel radically different.
Right. So the model runs at 20 FPS in your car. It just gets inputs subsample from that. The 5 FPS is purely about the training side, optimizing for future development.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And this idea of adaptation, it seems to continue with this online lateral delay estimator, lagged.
Exactly. Lagged.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a pretty significant step for car-specific tuning. Lagged is this new background process, and what it does is learn your specific car's lateral time delay while you drive, online.
Lateral time delay. So like the steering lag.
Precisely. It's that tiny gap, the fraction of a second between Openpilot telling the car to steer and the wheels actually responding. It accounts for all those little delays in the car's system. And this is crucial because that lag, it's not the same for every car. It varies between makes, models, even individual vehicles.
Okay. So Openpilot's not just guessing anymore. It's learning my car's specific reaction time.
You got it. So the steering corrections become much more tailored, much smoother, because it knows exactly how your car behaves. Right now, it's just running passively, sort of learning in the background for validation.
But full integration is coming soon, we assume. Okay. Staying on this theme of future-proofing, external USB GPUs, what's that about? Plugging a desktop graphics card into your Comma 3X.
Yeah, it sounds a bit wild, doesn't it? But thanks to TinyGrad's USB GPU driver, you can physically connect a desktop GPU to the Comma 3X's auxiliary USB-C port. Now, this release, 0.9.9, doesn't actually use that power yet.
Okay, so it's just enabling the possibility for now.
Right. It lays the groundwork. Future updates will likely offer two types of models. You have the standard ones optimized for the device itself, and then potentially much more powerful ones that can tap into that external GPU. It really shows they're prepping for models needing massive compute power for inference, opening the door for way more sophisticated driving AI.
That's a huge potential jump in processing power. Wow. Okay, beyond the big stuff, Agnos 12 was also mentioned, minor OS update.
Yeah, Agnos 12 is mostly about polish. It fixed some display tearing issues people were seeing, and importantly, brought back the 60 FPS frame rate for the UI. Small thing, maybe, but definitely a welcome fix for a smoother interface experience.
Good quality of life improvement there. And some big news for Tesla drivers in this release too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Big news. Full support is now added for Tesla Model 3, the 2019 to 2025 ones, and the Model Y, 2020 to 2024. And what's really key here is how Openpilot integrates. It uses Tesla's internal control APIs directly.
What you mean?
Unmatched precision, basically. You're getting really fine-grained control. Plus, you keep the important stock safety features like AEB and lane keep assist working alongside Openpilot. They also completely redid the lateral angle control safety logic specifically for Teslas.
Okay, what does that mean for the driving feel?
It means you get really consistent maximum turning force and jerk how quickly the steering changes across all speeds. The result should be noticeably smoother steering, less abruptness.
And you mentioned this new scheme, this improved angle control. It's not just for Teslas.
Correct. They're planning to roll this out to other cars that use angle control soon. Think newer V4s, some Fords, Nissans. So broader benefits are coming.
Great. And then there were the usual bug fixes and smaller improvements.
Yeah, a bunch of those. Things like better steering feel on the Chevy Bolt and Honda Civic, more low-speed torque for Rivians, which is helpful, and a nice little usability tweak. Toggles that used to need a car restart to take effect now apply immediately. So it makes daily use that bit easier.
Little things add up.
For sure. So yeah, this release, it really underlines that continuous improvement cycle.
Yeah.
And the themes are clear. Personalization, like with lag,
Yeah.
and definitely future-proofing the tech, like enabling that external GPU support down the line.
So, wrapping this up, the big question for you listening is how will all this start to feel? How will this dynamic car specific learning, like lagged learning your car's delay, combined with this future possibility of, massive external GPU power? How will that actually change the feeling of assisted driving for you? Something to think about. And as always, we definitely encourage you to check out the full open source reports yourselves to really get into the weeds of these changes.